Let's see, I'm trying out this streaming thing. So I'm just checking. I'll start a stream again, then I'll check again because I'm really new to this. I've not done this before, so I don't know. Okay, let's see because
की साक्षी बन रही है। मक्का, केला और धान पर काम करने वाला ये एफपीओ खगड़िया जिला में रजिस्टर हुआ है। एफपीओ सिर्फ एक संगठन नहीं होता, एक किसानों की और धान पर काम करने वाला ये एफपीओ खगड़िया जिला में रजिस्टर हुआ है।
all right, it is according to my satisfaction. Let's see because this is the first time I was trying it out. So let's just look at some videos that I have bookmarked. Okay, now this first one. Now the reason why I want you guys to watch this video is now these people I've spoken about this in many of my previous videos on my channel as well. How is it that we have reached that point that Hindi that has an organic origin in Bharat, okay, whereas English is obviously and absolutely a foreign language. But if you go down south, the politics of that state is such that they consider Hindi as something that is a northern imposition, but they are okay with communicating in English. So, how have we reached this point? Okay, so if you look at it, if indeed we keep on saying these things that there is unity and diversity in our country, then why exactly have these things? What is the political statement that these people are trying to make? In fact, recently there was this also some incident about a bus conductor being beaten. So the border areas between Karnataka and Maharashtra, they are somewhat sensitive because some areas are disputed. Okay, the language superiority. The Kannadas think that. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly or not, but people who live there, they speak that language, Kannada, and there are others who also speak Marathi as well. So it would be. I really think this is foolish. Okay, it's like we need English language to communicate with our own people, and that language has come from the Britishers. And if you look at the irony, I am using that language. Okay. All right. Next up, as you can see over here, partition was the biggest prank played by the Muslims. They said they wanted a separate country. They took the country and they didn't go. Okay. This was shared on X by a fellow who goes by the name of Imtiaz Mahmood. This is indeed true. Okay. So, if you rewind your clocks back, if you look at what was taught to you in school, okay, and there are other leaders in some political parties who have many times reiterated this stance that the idea to partition our country on the basis of religion, okay, apparently only one part was given away to a certain religion, whereas the other part unanimously decided that they wanted to be a democratic and a secular country. And how do we know that the remaining entirety of Bharat decided unanimously that they wanted to set up a secular and a democratic state? it is said that the people in the Constituent Assembly, they decided on the behalf of the population. Now we all know how were the people in the Constituent Assembly elected. Okay, so if you are really under the impression that partition happened with the consent of, with the unanimous consent of the people of this country, you are mistaken, and you have been uh, taught false history as we know it. Okay. This is, cancel culture was created because the left cannot survive in the free market of idea. This is something that you realize only when you are too old. Okay, when you are in the school, when you are in college, you operate under these delusions that there is equality in the society and you'll get to do whatever you want to do, but that is not the case. All right. When you grow up, when you work outside, I have been a teacher since last 5 years, and majority of the schools out there in the market, they have this unspoken rule of keeping left. Okay, although this entire idea of bifurcating the political ideologies into left and right comes from the West. Okay, just like everything else, we have adopted it mindlessly. This was interesting. Kash Patel, he was sworn in, and he was sworn uh, by keeping his hand on Bhagavad Gita. Okay, if you had somebody had thought of doing this here, okay, people would go crazy. Americans can do this, but if somebody, let's say tomorrow, let's say Modi or Jaishankar wanted to take oath on Gita, the democracy would be threatened. Fascism would have taken grip over the nation of Bharat and whatnot. This would have been the headlines for the newspapers. Okay, so it's very interesting to see the double standards. I mean, a lot of people before me have already spoken about these things, and I really don't know why exactly people in our country are so much nonchalant towards these double standards. We are, as if we are living under this, I don't know what exactly, I'm not able to find words, but yes, leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. This was rather surprising. I'm sure he has done this just for the sake of publicity and whatnot. I don't know why. It's elephants are such majestic creatures. Whenever you watch them, they're really adorable animals. If I'm not wrong, elephant is also an animal that is usually associated with the character of Bharat. So majestic, so graceful at the same time, and so powerful as well. The presence of an elephant is so imposing. Okay, although he is not the ruler of the jungle or top of the food chain in jungle, but definitely yes, you cannot ignore the presence of an elephant in a forest. It's not as if the lions, it's a child's play for a lion to hunt down an elephant. It's not. Okay. This is just the same day, another story. Same story, another day. I mean, we all know what's going down in Bangladesh. Okay, people don't want to speak up because that would rather get them cancelled in the society. Here is what is happening in our society, that now I see people who are, too reluctant to have decent and honest conversations. You know why? Because the left has completely blocked a part of our public discourse. Okay, there are certain topics that you're not supposed to discuss. Why? Because it will offend some people. Okay, so if there is a group of friends and they have somebody belonging to some this faith that is Islam, people will refrain from talking about certain political issues. Why? Because they get offended so quickly. Then the emotions overpower, and first of all, you can't have a factual debate with them. They will suddenly go into their victim mode. I have met people who have used this argument that since the partition was so difficult for us, hence we get such special treatments in the democracy that is Bharat. And this is the argument that they give. Okay, there are multiple laws, there are videos on my channel that I have made about the preferential treatment that the Muslims get in Bharat. Okay, and if you ask them, how do you logically justify, so they'll say that, oh, but we are a minority, hence you should. So if you look at a global level, if you look at this flag over here, so at the bottom there is Bangladesh, on top of that there is a Palestine flag, and on top